This is written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer.
Is that one of your other favorite authors?
I don't think so. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away. You're too little. How do you think she is feeling, Libby? Libby, sad. What do you think is going to happen to her bucket?
Drip back.
Drip. She's going to lose a drip out of her bucket. Her bucket is full, but she's going to lose a drip because her brother said no. Stay back. You'll knock it over. I'm big. Go play with your baby toys, Anna. I can be very careful. Now this is what she's thinking in her head. That's her brother, and she's kind of got them all scribbled out. So does she think that he's being very kind to her?
No.
No. Zach, what did she do to his blocks?
Knock them
Knocked him down. What do you think is now happening to his bucket?
Dripping.
Drip, maybe a couple drips because she knocked him over, and she's not thinking very kindly of him. Grandpa! Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has that invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Did you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket. Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. So Grandpa's not quite joking, but can we actually see your invisible bucket above your head? No, because it's invisible. But we each have this bucket above our heads, and we can either put drips in or we can take drips out. And the more our drips go out, the sadder we feel. Yep. Brooklyn.
I have my bucket beside me, and I leave a little gap in my bed so he can sleep on me.
Oh, perfect. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. Tyson, are you able to see? Is Mrs. Furby showing you? Okay. Okay. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got to get to this meeting this morning. It is almost time to go. Anna, sit still. And look what's happening. Mom's kind of in a hurry, pulling her hair a little bit, and what's happening to Felix over here? His cereal's gonna go all over the place.
What if it goes in the bucket?
It might. Felix slipped and choco wheat scattered across the floor. Felix! Yelled his mom. You should have used the stool to reach that. Felix could feel his bucket dip and big invisible drips spill out. So think of his bucket. There goes some more drops.
He's sad.
It's
Three
drops.
drops.
There's already 4.
There's 3.
Ha ha!
It was 3.
Anna laughs as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. There goes another drip out of his bucket.
You have 2.
I did get 2 tonight. It's okay. Sometimes more than one come out. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus, scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the choco wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite,
I know what happened because
The bus left.
what do you think's gonna happen, guys?
The bus
What
left.
do you predict? He's gonna miss the bus? Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand.
they went.
So we thought he was gonna miss the bus, but what happened? His dog ate the
Ate.
muffin. There goes another
Now he
drip.
doesn't have anything to eat.
Now he has no food. He's gonna be starving.
He's sad.
Hey, look, Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has just one like that. Drip. How do you think he feels now? Sad. Ooh.
Who's not the
See,
Now his
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
bucket was
Well,
sad.
that's way too many drips.
that is way too many drips. Okay. It's okay. Drip.
Yeah, he's
Watch out, shrimp. Drip. Here comes another drip.
Good try, Drip.
It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. And just like Mrs. Murphy accidentally spilled it, but it is getting almost empty. Just like his
I
bucket.
can't feel bad for Felix.
I can't.
It looks like there's
I will
a whole
play.
bunch.
Hold up. It says something.
Okay. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. So sometimes when your bucket's getting empty, sometimes you wish that other people felt the same way as you do. But is that how you really should feel?
No.
No.
Sometimes I feel that
You
way.
need to make sure that they are feeling happy and don't get an empty bucket like you might have. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumble Nickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. So what's going to happen now? He's going to get some drips back in his bucket. Drop, clink, plop, drop. The Gigantosaurus who wanted a pet by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped. Even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. So now he's getting more drips back into his bucket.
Three more drops.
Drop, drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Cool laser and backpack, Felix. So now, how is he feeling, guys? Happy.
Really
He's getting
happy.
drips back into his bucket. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. So his afternoon and is turning out to be much better. And his
Someone's
bucket
empty.
is
Someone's
getting
empty. Where? Someone's empty. I see it right there.
okay. Get this in the
Someone's empty in there.
Yep.
And there's somebody sitting right there.
Drop, drop. Let me help you. Here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. So he's getting more drops in his bucket.
He only has one left to get.
Two.
The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. So when you help somebody else and are kind to somebody else, not only are you putting drops in their bucket, you're also putting drops in your bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa! I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs must have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." Well, until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? So now he's putting a drop in his bucket and a drop in
Your
his
sister.
sister's bucket.
That means something is full.
It's almost full. And so they did. Oopsie, Tyson or Charlie, want to grab that?
Your sister's so happy now.
So, as you guys think about your buckets every day, think sometimes you will lose drips, but it's really important to try to put drips back in your bucket and try to put drips into your friend's bucket. Okay? And I will put this book, I know you guys